Zara. I told myself I needed space. That if I ignored him long enough, the feelings would pass. That if I stayed quiet, the guilt would fade. I lied. Every hallway I walk down feels like it echoes his name. Every time I open a book, I remember the way his fingers brushed the spine when he handed me that sketch. I didn't throw it away. It's still folded in the back of my journal, tucked between grocery lists and scribbled thoughts I'll never let anyone read. I told myself I only kept it to remind me what not to fall for. But when I look at it, I feel safe. And that terrifies me. He hasn't messaged. Not once. Part of me is relieved. This is what I wanted, right? Space. Silence. But another part of me, that cruel, whispering part, it wonders if I finally pushed him away for good. Today, I walk into the library for a quiet study hour and stop short. He's there, sitting in the far corner by the windows. Alone, headphones in, sketchbook open, lost in his own world. It should have been easy to look away. I've done it for days. But something's different. His hands aren't moving. His pencil hovers above the paper, motionless. His eyes are distant, like he's drawing ghosts, or maybe trying to erase one. Me. I hide behind a shelf, pretending to flip through books I don't care about. My heart pounds harder with every second I spend just watching him. And I see it, the tension in his jaw, the way he grips his pencil too tightly, the way he glances at the door every time it opens, as if he's hoping it might be me. I hate that I made him feel that way. I didn't mean to walk out that day. I meant to say thank you. I meant to say I saw it. The sketch, the effort, him. But I got scared, because when someone like Rayan looks at you and says, "You're worth it," it hits every place you spent years pretending didn't exist. The places people abandoned, the parts of you no one else tried to understand. And what if he's right? What if I am worth it, and I ruin him trying to figure it out? He shifts, suddenly closing the sketchbook. For a moment, I panic. Think he might see me. But he doesn't. He just sits there. Alone, eyes closed. Like he's trying to hold himself together in the quiet. And something breaks inside me. Not loudly, just a soft, crumbling ache in the part of me I thought was done feeling anything. I whisper to myself as I leave. Greater than, don't look back. But I do. And he's still there, still waiting for a girl who never learned how to stay. Zara. I wasn't supposed to be here. The club meeting was just a formality. I thought I could slip in, sit at the back, take notes, and leave without anyone noticing. Without him noticing. But fate is cruel, and our advisor is crueler. Greater than, Rayan. Zara, you two will handle the layout for the event posters. You work well together. Liar. I almost speak up, almost object, but Rayan doesn't even blink. He just nods once, quietly, like he's used to being paired with people who don't want to sit next to him anymore. That stings, and I hate that it does. We sit at the far table. The rest of the club buzzes with noise and laughter, but around us, it's still. Rayan pulls out his sketchbook and opens a blank page. I stay silent. Greater than, I can do the rough concept, he says finally, voice low. You can tweak it later. I nod. Fine. We don't look at each other. And yet I can feel him, his presence like static electricity, making my skin hyperaware. Like my body remembers how it felt to sit this close to him before everything cracked. He sketches quickly, confidently, like he's trying not to think. But I know better. Rayan's art always reflects his headspace. This one, it's messy. Lines overlap, erased and redrawn. The symmetry is off. I glance up, accidentally meeting his eyes. He looks tired. Greater than, you haven't been drawing like yourself, I say before I can stop myself. His pencil stills. Greater than, maybe I haven't felt like myself. I don't know what to say to that. So I look down, Trace the edge of the table with my thumb. Greater than, I saw you. In the library, I whisper. He doesn't react. Greater than, you looked like you were trying to forget me. Rayan finally turns to me. And for the first time in days, I see the storm behind his silence. Greater than, I was trying to remember what it felt like before I met you. I flinch. Then, softer. Greater than, couldn't do it. Dash dash dash. There's a long pause. Too heavy. Too full. Greater than, Rayan, I start, but my voice cracks. I didn't walk away because I didn't feel anything. I walked away because I felt everything. All at once. And it scared me. He swallows hard. His pencil drops to the table. Greater than, then why did you make me feel like I was the mistake? I blink fast, my throat tight. Greater than, because I'm scared I'll destroy anything good that touches me. The silence afterward isn't awkward, it's wounded. But Rayan doesn't look away. Greater than, then let me be the one thing that doesn't fall apart. Dash dash dash. The meeting ends. People start packing up. We don't move. We just sit there. Two people quietly bleeding in a room full of noise. And for the first time, neither of us runs. Zara. It's strange how silence can follow you like a scent, how one moment can trail after you through crowded corridors and cling to your clothes long after you've walked away from it. Ever since that club meeting, I've been carrying a silence shaped like Rayan. It clings when I try to sleep. It curls into my spine when I hear his name in passing. It crawls up my throat in lectures when I try too hard to focus and end up staring out the window, wondering if he's doing the same somewhere else. We haven't spoken since. Not really. Not beyond that day when something broke between us again, but softer this time. Like glass pressed into velvet. Sharp, but gentle. Dash dash dash. Lunchtime. I sit with my friends. My fork plays with the rice, turning it in slow, aimless spirals. Greater than, Zara, you're zoning again, Ira teases. I smile like I'm fine. I nod like I'm listening. Across the courtyard, I feel it before I see it. My spine stiffens, like it remembers the shape of his presence. Rayan walks past the lunch tables. Alone, as usual. Except he glances over, only once. It's quick, half a second too long to be accidental, half a second too short to mean anything definite. But I feel it, and when I lift my eyes, slowly, carefully, he's already looking away. Not coldly, just like someone who's used to hurting quietly now. Dash dash dash. Later that day, my locker creaks open like it's tired too. Everything feels tired lately. Among the usual mess, books, crumpled notes, a forgotten chocolate, I find something unfamiliar. A folded scrap of paper. Torn at the edges. It smells faintly of pencil lead and old paper. I know the style before I unfold it. It's his. A sketch. Rushed but tender. Me. Sitting at the library table from days ago. Chin resting on my palm. Eyes focused on something out of frame. Thoughtful. Still. Too detailed to have been drawn in that moment. He hadn't looked at me once that day. Which means, he drew it from memory. I flip it over. On the back, in tiny handwriting that looks a little like an apology, a little like surrender. Greater than, I wish I had said more. Dash dash dash. I sit on the edge of my bed that night, staring at it. And for the first time in days, I cry. Not because I miss him. But because maybe he never stopped being here. Just. Quietly. Rayan. He doesn't text her. Not because he doesn't want to. But because words, for him, have always felt like sharp things. Dangerous in the wrong hands. And in her hands, they matter too much. He thinks about the sketch he left in her locker at least 12 times a day. Wonders if she even saw it. Wonders if she tore it up. Wonders if she understood it wasn't just a drawing. It was a memory. It was everything he never found the courage to speak. Dash dash dash. At school, he shows up early to the next club meeting. No one's there yet. He adjusts the chairs without being asked. Makes sure the projector works. Tapes a loose poster that was falling off the bulletin board. Zara arrives 10 minutes later. She pauses in the doorway, uncertain. He doesn't say a word, but he watches her shadow flicker across the floor as she walks in. She doesn't look at him directly. She never does anymore, but she sits at the table across from him, silently opens her notebook, and starts scribbling like she's trying to outrun something. He doesn't interrupt. He just listens to the quiet between them. It says more than either of them ever dared to. The little things. In the next few days, he keeps doing small things no one notices. He volunteers for the art booth design Zara suggested, even though no one else wanted it. He covers for her shift at the registration desk when she's sick, even though she never asked. He corrects a typo in her name on the official list, even though she wouldn't have noticed. He walks a different hallway now, just so he can pass by her classroom between periods. Not to talk. Just to make sure she's okay. And every time he sees her, he smiles. Not a full one, just that half smile he used to give when they were still something. When they weren't haunted by the weight of their own silence. Zara. I notice all of it. The tape on the falling poster I forgot about. The clean brush sets he quietly left out for the art booth. The corrected spelling of my name on the board, as if someone remembered I like the H at the end. He's saying things, loudly, just not with words. And somehow, that hurts more. Because this boy, this infuriating, beautiful boy, might not know how to say, I miss you, or, I'm sorry, or, please come back. But he's learning how to show it. One silent, clumsy, honest act at a time. And I'm scared that if he keeps doing this, I won't have the strength to keep pretending I don't feel it. Zara, it wasn't a trap. I didn't mean to test him. But sometimes, the heart needs proof, especially when it's still bruised and scared and holding itself together with tape. Sometimes, even when you see someone's effort, you still whisper, but will they choose me if it costs them something? And I needed to know. The intershul event was chaos. People running around, panicking over props, sound checks, last-minute cancellations. Our club was short on volunteers. I wasn't even supposed to be there that day. I had an exam the next morning. I could have skipped. I should have skipped. But I didn't. Because Rayan was there. He was everywhere, carrying banners, fixing the mic, coordinating with seniors. His sleeves were rolled up. His forehead had that little crease it always got when he was focused. And when he walked past me, handing out water bottles, he didn't just ask how I was. He noticed I hadn't eaten. Left a sandwich by my notebook when I wasn't looking. He remembered I don't like mayonnaise. That quiet, clumsy boy noticed everything. So when the advisor announced that someone needed to stay back 2 hours late for cleanup, after everyone was gone, I turned to Rayan, heart in my throat. You don't have to, I said before he could speak. But he met my eyes, shrugged lightly, and said, I'll stay. Just like that, as if it wasn't even a question. As if I wasn't the reason he was agreeing to give up the only few hours he had to revise for his test the next day. And just like that, I broke a little. Rayan. It wasn't about the cleanup. It was never about the extra hours, the exhaustion, or the exam looming over him like a storm. It was the way she looked at him when she asked. Like she didn't believe anyone would choose her if it meant giving up something. And that broke something in him. So he stayed. They swept floors together in silence. Picked up cups. Folded chairs. She laughed once when a decoration fell on his head. He didn't even mind. Because for the first time in what felt like forever, she was laughing. With him. Zara. As we walked out into the empty hallway that evening, the sun spilling orange onto the tiles, I turned to him and asked softly. Why did you stay? Rayan looked at me, and there was no hesitation in his eyes. Because you asked. Simple. Honest. No frills. And in that moment, I realized something. He wasn't perfect with emotions. He stumbled over them, hid them behind silences and side glances. But for me, he was learning the language anyway. And that, more than any grand gesture, was love. In late-night libraries, forgotten sandwiches, corrected spellings, and a boy who was once clumsy with feelings, but learned, just for her. Zara, if you'd told me months ago that Rayan would be the boy to make me feel seen, really seen, I would have laughed. He was a mystery then. All silence and sarcasm. The kind of boy who felt too distracted to care, too guarded to stay. And yet, here I was, watching him walk beside me after our last event of the year, club bags slung over our shoulders, tired laughter between us like soft music, and realizing I didn't want him to leave. Not anymore. Not ever. It was drizzling when we stepped outside. Just enough to make the world blur a little. Rayan paused under the old campus tree, where students rarely sat anymore. It felt like time had slowed just for us. Greater than, you cold? He asked, voice low. I shook my head. He didn't offer a jacket. He didn't fumble with a joke. He didn't say anything overly poetic. He just stood close enough that I didn't need either. Rayan. He still wasn't great with words. His feelings still didn't roll off his tongue like Zara's did. But he remembered the important things. She liked her coffee half sweet. She cried at old voice notes when she missed people. She hated being interrupted when she was mid-sentence, even if it was just a breath. And when she loved someone, she didn't say it. She showed it. Quietly, steadily, completely. So he learned to do the same. Later that evening, she found it in her notebook, tucked between pages of half-finished notes. Another sketch. This time, it was them. Sitting under the tree. She hadn't even noticed him sketching. But the moment was perfect. Her eyes closed, the rain soft in the background, his hand resting near hers but not quite touching. And on the bottom corner, in small writing, greater than, I used to be scared I'd never understand love. But then I met you. And I learned it's not about saying the right things. It's about showing up, even when you don't know how. Zara. I cried when I read it. Not because it was dramatic. But because it was him. Honest. Awkward. Sincere. Growing. He never became someone new for me. He just became braver. And somehow, that was everything. Final lines. Some boys don't know how to express their love in perfect words or polished actions. They might seem careless, distant, even clueless. But when they love, they learn everything. Not to impress, but to understand, and to stay.